Today we're going to use machine learning and all different algorithms that we've investigated so far to help one of our customers, in this case called Company, and give them a data insight report. So in this part of the video, we're going to explain the data that this company gave us and what we would like to get out of it in a very quick manner, not in an investigation that takes days or weeks. So the data that we're going to be using is actually public data provided by, I believe, the London South Bank University. And this is a real year-long data set for a UK-based online retail store that has no physical location. And basically, so this is real-life data, and it basically sells all occasion gifts, right? And we'll have a bunch of information about it, something like the invoice number, product description, the quantity of each item bought, when the date the invoice was placed, the number of units, customer ID, and the country from where that particular invoice came from. Now, we had to munch this data. Obviously, there's lots of insights you can get from data like this. This is the perfect sort of data. But for the purposes of this video, we munched it a bit, we pre-processed it a bit until we arrived with something like this, which is exactly like before. Invoice number, invoice date, the total of the invoice, negatives means returns, the customer ID, the country, and then the invoice items. So for example, wherever it's blank, that item was not part of the invoice. Wherever there is a 1, which we see over there, that item was part of the invoice. So invoice number 6 over here included a large popcorn holder. So that's the data that we have to play around with. And we are going to come up with this data insight report that has 3 main sections, which are going to correspond to 3 parts of this video. The first is business intelligence. Can we extract any actionable business intelligence that marketing can use or sales can use to help them do their job and to hopefully increase sales in the future? The second part of the report is going to be fraud analysis, where we highlight some interesting transactions that have happened within our data set. And the third and final part is going to be logistics, where we see if there is any data within there are any trends within our data where we can go to logistics and help them with stock coverage, how much stock they need to order in order to make sure that in the future they're not going to be left out in the cold. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started.